Hi everyone, Anna here from EnglishLikeANative.com. Today we're learning 30 advanced phrases to use when talking about technology, specifically computers and the internet. To kick off our list, kick off means get started, we have the verb to access. To access. Now you'd use this when accessing a website or your emails, and this just means to locate, to be able to get into. So if you're going to go onto a website or open your emails, you are accessing that website or accessing your emails. Perhaps some of you cannot access your work emails from home. Perhaps you have to use a secure system in your workplace. The second one is to boot up. To boot up. This phrasal verb means to start, and it's usually used with a computer. So when you start a computer, when you turn on the power of your computer, you are booting it up. So if you're on the phone talking to a client and they say, "Have you seen my email?" You'll say, "I've just got into work. Bear with me 1 minute while I boot up my computer." Next on the list, we have to browse. You usually browse a website or the internet. This just means to look at or to go through a particular website or the internet in general. You might be browsing Google, shopping for something for a birthday present perhaps. Similar to browsing, you might hear the phrase to surf the web. To surf the web. This is exactly the same. It means to look at a series of websites, one after the other. You're surfing through. Hey. Next, we have to crash. Uh-oh. When something crashes, it's really not very good. It means that it suddenly stopped working for whatever reason. If your computer crashes, then perhaps the power has gone off altogether. Maybe it's frozen, everything's just stopped. Perhaps a particular program on your computer might crash. So if you're editing a video, hopefully your video editing software won't crash, because that would be very frustrating, especially if you haven't saved your work. The next one is to enter a web address. So when you go to that bar, the URL address bar at the top of an internet browser window, you'll have to enter the URL address or the web address. Okay, so we use the verb to enter. So I enter the web address into the browser and find that website. The next word I'm sure you've all heard of, it is to download. You can download an audio file, a podcast perhaps, or music, a PDF, lesson notes. Basically, to download just means to save a copy of that file from the internet to your own device. Next, we have to go or get online. So this is just another option of a verb to use when we're talking about accessing the internet or accessing a specific website. So you go online or you get online. So you might say to your friend, "I'm sorry I haven't replied to your messages. I haven't been able to get online since yesterday. My computer crashed. I'm having lots of problems." Okay, so reasons why you might get online. Well, you might go online to watch my videos or to take part in a language course. Okay, next up we have cutting edge technology. Cutting edge technology. This phrase means that the technology is very modern. It's incredibly modern. It might be the newest iPhone using a technology that can do something fantastic, like hear you when you say, "Hello Siri," or something like that. I don't know. But if it's very, very modern, something brand new, then it's cutting edge. Okay, next we have a desktop or a home computer. So if someone's talking about your desktop, they're talking about a computer that isn't portable, so it remains situated on your desk. So a laptop is not a desktop. A laptop is also not really classed as a home computer. A laptop is a laptop, of course. Tell me in the comments below if you have a desktop and whether you have a PC or a Mac computer. Okay, so talking about home computers, we have the word hardware. Hardware. Now, hardware basically refers to the equipment that you can physically see and pick up. That's your hardware. So your monitor, your computer, all that stuff. Your hard drives, your external hard drives, they are hardware. Your software, which is the next word, is the program that lives on the hardware. So you will download software onto your hardware. So programs like editing software, like iTunes, or I don't know, give me some examples of software in the comments below. But any apps or programs that you run on your computer is classed as software. Next, we have the word digital editing. Digital editing. Now, in this day and age, all of us are editing our photographs. We're able to edit our videos. It's fantastic what we can do with digital material, just simply on our phones or our other devices. So you are digital editing. So it just means to edit digital material like audio, video, or photographs. The next is the word gadget. You might hear this, a gadget. A gadget just refers to a technological tool, like a mobile phone or a camera, for example. That's a gadget. What interesting gadget have you bought recently? When talking about gadgets, you might talk about whether you've got a high spec or a top spec version. So this just means it's got a high specification or a top specification. It means if we're talking about a computer, it's a very powerful computer with very top quality components. Okay, so you might say, I just bought a new high spec laptop. Okay, it's got cutting edge technology. If you don't have a high-tech laptop, then you might need to upgrade. To upgrade, this means to move up to a more powerful or richer version. So maybe it has more features, it offers more. Obviously, you usually pay more money for a higher grade version, but it will be better, usually. So to upgrade. The next word on our list is conferencing, video conferencing. Now, a video conference is something that's become very popular in 2020, and that's because most people are holding meetings remotely. So to have a video conference is to see and hear people from different locations using the internet. It's to have a meeting via the internet. Video conferencing. Next on our list is wireless hotspot. A wireless hotspot. So Wi-Fi, which is wireless but shorter. Wi-Fi, we all know about Wi-Fi. It's a signal to the internet where you're not physically plugging in a cable. And when we're out and about, we sometimes need to access the internet. And many places will offer a Wi-Fi or a wireless hotspot. Places like cafeterias or hotels, restaurants will offer Wi-Fi usually. So you say, do you have a wireless hotspot? Or what's the password for your Wi-Fi hotspot? Okay, you might also hear the term wireless network. Wireless network. This just refers to the network that users all access the internet with. It obviously, again, it's wireless, so it doesn't use fixed cables. So when you're in my house, I have my own wireless network, and you would need to know what that network is called and what the password is in order to use it. Now, to make sure that you are safe when you are browsing the internet, you should have good internet security. And this explains itself. This will usually be some form of program that protects you while you are online, protects your data and stops you getting hacked. Yeah, stops you getting hacked and people taking your information and doing terrible things to your system and just causing mayhem. So have good internet security. Now, coming back to software, so apps and programs, and hardware, you would hope that you're using programs that are intuitive, or a computer that feels intuitive. So intuitive means it's simple to use and easy to understand. Usually it means you don't even have to learn how to use it. Your body just seems to know, and your mind seems to know where naturally you're supposed to go. I find that Apple products are more intuitive than other competitive products. So for me, I'm more in tune with Apple products. I find them more intuitive. They're easier to use. Now, another word that you might come across if you work within an office environment is the word intranet. Intranet. An intranet is a network of connected computers within that organization that cannot be accessed by unauthorized visitors. So it's a network within your company, okay? Hope that makes sense. Next, we have the word operating system. Often you'll see this shortened to OS. Operating system just refers to the software that tells your computer how to work. So every computer has its own operating system. And over time, you'll have to upgrade or update your operating system so that your computer continues to work well. Okay, let's talk about a couple of people that are associated with technology. A computer buff is one. Are you a computer buff? A computer buff basically just means an expert computer user. So if I'm having some trouble with my computer, I might ask my friends on Facebook, are there any computer buffs out there? Anyone who can help me with a problem I'm having? Someone who is also very interested in technology and good with technology is known as a techie. A techie. You could be a professional techie, a technician, but a techie is just like a short slang phrase that we use to describe someone who's good at and interested in technology. My dad's a bit of a techie. Now, many of us at work will use the computer for writing letters, creating documents, and you will use the word processing. So word processing or word processor refers to producing written text on a computer. So the word processor will be the software, so word processing software, and the act can also be word processing. We often don't use it in that context, but you'll say, I need to use a word processor. In fact, I don't hear it said very often, but it's a good phrase to know. So word processing is the act of creating written text on a computer. If you are writing something on the computer, it's always important to regularly back up your files. To back up a file is to make a copy of that file in case your computer crashes and you lose all of that work that you've done. Oh, it's happened so many times to me. I just think, I'll just write another paragraph and then I'll save. And then my computer crashes. So frustrating. Okay, the next word or phrase is to cut and paste. To cut and paste means to copy and move text or an image from one place to another, perhaps in the same document or in a separate document. Now, you might hear cut and paste or copy and paste. The difference is cut and paste copies it and deletes the original and then pastes it, so it only exists in the new place. Copy and paste will copy it but not delete the source file, and you paste it in the new place. And so copy and paste means that it exists in two places. Does that make sense? Cool. Okay, once you've finished your work, you might want to print it out or get a printout. So to print out is to send that electrical document that you've got on your computer to the printer and tell the printer to create a physical copy, usually on paper or card. So if you want to have it in your hand, then you'll have to get a printout. You'll have to print it out on the printer. Now, when you are sending emails, you might want to send your document that you've written in your word processor as an attachment. So we would say to send an attachment. This is to attach that document to an email and pass it on to whoever you are corresponding with. So you send an attachment, or you would attach a document to your email. Okay, so lots of words and phrases there. Hopefully this was useful to you.